Cambridge Hotel, and I'm not going to lie, 15-year-old me is shitting myself. Because today, we talk Superheist. Let's go.
Blood that boils like fire. Sweat. Face up front like desire. Sweat. Housing up every moment. Sweat. Shun the spirit that clouded. So climb on down. Face the sound. Full of light.
Come the wrong way.
Face the sound. Feeling pity like it's praise.
Take your places, please. Right. Let's see which one of us can touch his toes. From the hips, brothers and sisters, please. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2.
Lenny here with Zeke and DW from Superheist, boys. Thanks for coming to Nightrain TV.
Thanks for having us, my man.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So, Heistfest. Tell us how this came about. Nothing I love more than a self-titled tour. How did it come about?
Well, it's more of a self-titled long-term event that we're planning. We hope to do this every year and build it up a little bit by bit. Have a bit of a branded event. You know, stole the idea from Knotfest. I guess where Superheist is at the moment, we're not going to tour like, you know, every other month. It's probably going to be twice a year sort of thing, and we wanted to make a bit of an event that doesn't always have to revolve around us either, and something that can carry on and bring more bands in and young bands up.
Awesome. Well, you've been doing it for a while. We've hit 25-ish years this year. 25 years ago when you started this, did you imagine you'd still be doing Superheist?
Well, I was in high school, so no.
I wasn't going to say that because I didn't want to make him feel old. I grew up on this shit, but I wasn't going to make him feel like an old man.
But no, I mean, I couldn't imagine I'd be you for sure because I wasn't, and I was a fan of Superheist. So, you know, joining in 2016, I have to excuse my voice, I've been sick, has been, you know, a bit of a thrill, you know, so I know my answer to that question is absolutely fucking not, you know.
You've been here from the start? What about you?
To me, when you start a band, I mean, it was 25 years ago this year that Superheist started. When you start a band, you actually think that you're going to be in that band forever and you're going to dominate the world. So yes, I thought I'd still be doing it.
and it's true. Like, we are still together and we are dominating the world.
Yes.
Well, as you mentioned, you came in 2016, so we're a few years into the, I guess you'd call it the reformation or the return. We're not going to call it a comeback. It's not a comeback. How, a few years in, how do you feel as though how would you compare Superheist 2019 to Superheist 1999?
Well, I can't answer
You were in high school.
I can answer the question.
In part.
Well, we've gotten the band's new album, Sidewinder, is the best Superheist album yet, in my opinion. I mean, obviously I'm biased because it's got my vocals on it, but it's a massive production progression, and I think Richie's finally, DW's finally sort of come to terms with the fact that he's the producer that's going to bring out the best in Superheist, because no one knows how it should sound better than him. You know, I just think that also the lineup changes. You know, we've got John Sankey as a legend of the scene, and Simo Duran is sitting right there.
And not at all just off camera. Not at all just off camera. Rock and roll, ladies and gentlemen. There's anything more rock and roll than a Newtowner and a corn chip. I don't know what it is.
You know, John has brought a lot to the band, and Simo's come back in after being out, and so it's as legit as it's ever been. It's always had a revolving door as a band. There was this period where they sustained commercial success and had a very solid lineup, but then even Joey, you know, a change of singer without a death, it's a big deal for any band. So I think 2019 Heist is the best, and I think if we put Sidewinder out, an album that sounds like Sidewinder out when we were 19, the world would be like fucking, would be eating it up. So.
You mentioned Sidewinder a couple of times. Until about a month ago, I thought it was going to be called Mammoth. You guys made no secret about it, the fact that the album was going to be called Mammoth. Other than the album title, has there been much change as you've been recording the album?
Well, it was always a working title, Mammoth, and that's because we called it that because the riffs are legitimately mammoth. So we worked with that for a while, but when we actually recorded all the vocals and mixed it all, and things changed a little bit, and we just, you know, I threw it out there. Maybe there's another name for this, and Zeke come up with the name Sidewinder.
Up to 4 or 5.
It was just a perfect fit.
It's a missile and it's a rattlesnake.
Yeah.
So they're both deadly. One's natural, one's man-made.
They'll both get you.
Yeah, well, yeah. Hopefully not. But in this case, it's a metaphor.
I want to answer part A of the previous question about the difference between Superheist to now. So, and Zeke made a good point. Previously, Superheist was always kind of not run by someone else, but there was people pulling strings, you know, the record label, management, all that sort of stuff. And I don't think it was ever necessarily pulled in a way that worked musically for the band. It might have in some parts of the career direction, but and Zeke touched on me producing nowadays, and I've always been reluctant.
I encouraged it very heavily after when the Raise Hell stuff was the first stuff DW's produced for the band and mixed.
But you had your hands on earlier albums,
Sorry,
right?
I didn't want to put my hand up. I heavily encouraged it because I believe that you know, who knows better what it should sound like than the guy that's been there the whole time.
I've co-produced, but I've never been the sole producer and mixer, or you know, like Zeke produces it with me. You know, I've never actually mixed the whole album myself, which is stupid because I do it for every other band as well. So now, like finally, like we just listened to the album again in the car on the way up, and it's like, fuck yeah, it's sick. You know, this is exactly how we want it to be. You know,
Is it coming? You've recently started your own record label. Is this coming out on that as well?
yeah. That was another thing I was talking about. The strings being pulled and directions and stuff, and we just feel like, you know, we're probably old enough and mature enough now to handle things ourselves and put the record out and actually maybe see a dollar from a record sale. That'd be nice. Yeah. You know, I can tell you, you know, of the music that I've released myself, you know, upwards of 100,000 records. I've never seen a cent from a record sale. Not a cent.
Pretty fucking crummy industry for the dudes who do it, right?
Yeah, can I just say that's two, you know, Zeke and myself both been in, you know, two of the biggest bands, heavier bands in this country,
Full scale went overseas.
and a little bit commercial as well, and still not a cent from record sales. And that's not from the lack of selling records.
No.
It's just the poor accountability that comes with it.
Actually, Mammal did all right on a couple because they were ours.
Because you
we
did
owned
them
them.
yourself. Yeah, that's the difference.
Yeah. Well, it's a good way to go, man. I mean, if John Butler can do it, anyone can do it, right?
Yeah, well, that's a great model. And may I say, since you brought John Butler up, a lot of people sit around and say, oh, when I've got money, or if I had money, I'd help other people. And they don't. John Butler did. So, seriously, the John Butler Seed program is an example of someone who puts their money where their mouth is. And I've got nothing but respect for that guy.
World needs more of them, huh?
Well, he doesn't talk shit. And a lot of people do. You know, I'll give all my money away and I'll help other musos. They get there and they fucking forget everyone.
They forget.
So with it, yeah, you've been around a while. We've had an album, an EP, and now an album to come with Zeke on vocals. There's two previous albums. When it comes to writing a set list, are you aware that those classics that you have to put in, or are you trying to lean more towards the newer stuff? And how do you feel like singing someone else's words? Because you're a passionate dude. You put everything into your vocal and your lyric. How does it feel for you, you know, doing other people's lyrics?
Well, I mean, repertoire's repertoire. And people pay to see a show. And if they're coming to see a Superheist show, then they'd expect, I'd imagine, some old stuff. Yeah. I would, if I wasn't in the band. So it's not really, I'm not precious. I like to sing the stuff I like. I've got my favourites. And there's stuff that I won't sing because I don't think it's in their best that I didn't write.
I mean, there's the album that we don't talk about, right? Is there an album that we don't touch?
We didn't talk about it.
No, I mean, identical remote control reactions. We just don't.
We did do a song from that.
Yeah, we did liberate for a little while, but it doesn't really resonate with what we're doing now. And there's a couple of the older songs that still do. I got to admit, for me, it's tough rehearsing them, but when we play them live, it's cool. You know, the crowd likes it. You know.
The System's probably my favourite. But I'm always pushing to get more new stuff in the set. Because, well, fuck, I mean, you know, we're not.
We don't play the old songs for us. We're playing them for the people paying the tickets, buying the tickets.
And they love them. But, you know, we're about moving this forward. So people will be hearing a lot more from us going forward.
Not a nostalgia act.
No, we're not in nostalgia.
We've released 29 songs in 2 years, 2.5 years since we came back. 29 songs, 6 film clips and a documentary.
You got Guns N' Roses covered.
2 full-length albums, an EP, a triple single, and about 7 clips, the best of, and a documentary. That's in 2.5 years. So we're not here to fucking make up numbers, mate.
Excellent. Well, look, as I said, I grew up on this shit, so I am very fucking stoked for tonight. Thanks for chatting to us. Thanks for letting us walk around, and let's have a good fucking evening, huh?
If you guys were dickheads, we wouldn't have let you. You're actually nice guys.
I am a fucking dickhead. You'll learn that afterwards.
All my best mates are.
Anyway, thanks, brother. Appreciate it, and thanks for coming on Nightrain TV.
Nice.
Okay, guys, how you fucking going?
Guess what? We released a new single just the other day called The Riot. Has everyone seen it? Okay. I know it's a small crowd, but that means we've got to be twice as loud. Who's seen our new single, The Riot? Well, now you're about to hear it live. It's a perfect one to jump.